Hello, as promised, this is the taste test of the pea and ham soup. And overnight, like I said, it gets very gelatinous. On top there's a bit of fat, which I scraped off. I'm competing with our local birds. All that gelatin in it, yum. Now I've got a heap, so in this one I'm going to put in these two containers. You'll see all the gelatin that sits on top, and the fat sat on top of that, which made it really easy to get rid of. Now mixing it all together so we get a combination of all things mixed deliciously. And what I'll do is I'll put these in the freezer. They're good for a month or two, even longer. But each one of these containers will be 2 servings, as you can probably tell by the amount I'm putting in there. So there's more than enough in each of these containers to have what we had tonight in our bowl. Now I made a fair bit up, and I probably got another 2 little containers in the fridge with about 3 meals in each. So there's 6. The 2 meals we had tonight that we ate, that you're going to see, and also these other 4. So altogether, what is that? 6, 8, 12 meals, and probably a bit more, but 12 meals. Total cost was around about, about $18 for all of them, so about $1.50 a serve, I'm guessing. But these can go in the freezer, and they'll, like I say, last for a long time if you want to. Now I made sure in the container that I put those in, the leftovers is enough for our meal tonight. More than enough. Good sized bowl, as you'll see. See how it's all fairly thickened? Well, that will get loose as it's reheated. And promise me, when you make pea and ham soup, the next day it tastes better. It really does. I had a little sneak peek last night. It was good. But trust me, it's definitely better the next day. Now sipping some crunchy grain bread. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with this. A bit fancy. You could just put butter on it if you wanted to, or just have it as it is with your soup. But I'm going to show you what I do most of the time when I have soup. I like crusty. And I also love cheese. You'll see that shortly. So I'm just cutting off enough, probably more than we needed, but we ate it, of this beautiful grain Vienna loaf. And I'll get a tray, and I'll put all this bread on there. And this is going to go into the grill in the oven. But before I put it in the oven, and you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I just know it gives a great finish, is that you'll see me put some spray olive oil on this. And what that does, it allows it to really get a nice little crust on it. So I'm going to spray all of this, and I'll be putting it in the oven probably for about, doesn't take long with the grill on fairly high, probably about a minute and a half. Depends what your grill's like. So I'll do that side first. I'm just making sure the soup's coming along, as you can see. And it smells fantastic. So the story behind all this is there's a couple of little watchers. Look at them, little buggers. They always keep an eye on me in the kitchen. So the soup's coming along nicely. It's not too far away from being ready, as is the bread. But I'll take that out of the oven, and I'll show you what we ended up with the first side. Now what this is, like I say, that bit of spray olive oil on it just gives it a really nice crust finish. You're just toasting the damn thing, but the olive oil just makes that life a bit easier. Now there we've got the flipping of the bread, because I'm going to do exactly the same thing with this. I'm going to give it a little bit of spray, and again it'll do the same thing, but I won't get this that toasted. I'll get it so it's crispy, because what I will be doing with it is putting cheese all over it, because I like cheese. And you use any cheese you like, cheddar, mozzarella, gorgonzola, I don't care. I use mozzarella on this because it just works. Melts in beautifully, like a little pizza if you like. But I'm just spreading evenly as I can. Yes, I drop a few little bits on the tray, but they'll get crispy and golden. There'll be a special little treat when they come out of the oven. So I'm just covering this, like I say, not tons of cheese, but enough to cover the toast, if you like. And this will go into the oven. Like I say, the oven's on a fairly high grill. So it's not baking, it's grilling. So I'll put this back in the oven, and it won't take any time at all through the magic of the camera, which is amazing when you think about it. Because what happens, it comes out like that. It smelt, and trust me, it tasted fantastic. So let's dish up. So here's the pea and ham soup. You can see it's a lot loose now than it was compared to when you put it in the pan. It's still a reasonable thick soup. It's not thin by any means. But when you first saw it come out of the container, you thought, my God, how's that going to turn up? It just, all that gelatin melts down when you reheat it, and it tastes fantastic. It really does. Like I say, if you've never had a crack at making pea and ham soup, give it a go. It's good for cold winters like we're having now. It should be 30 degrees now, but it's only 18. So there's the mozzarella toast on the Vienna mixed grain bread, and followed by a nice little bowl, as you'll see, of pea and ham soup. It's hot, be careful. And I really did enjoy it, but like I say, give it a go. If you've never had a go, please give it a crack. If you have been, thanks for watching. Yum.